Hello students, welcome to today's maths class. Today we'll be discussing about independent and dependent events multiplication rule. Hope all are doing great. So before I take the class, I request all of you to take your maths class work or rough note and your textbook. Okay students, what is the meaning of independent events? Independent events, here, the result of the first event will not affect the outcome of the second event. So that is called independent event. So when I do a problem, you will understand the concept. Okay. Independent event is nothing but the event, the occurrence of any of the event will not affect the occurrence of the other event. Okay. For example, if you toss a coin and roll a die. The best example is tossing a coin and rolling a die. Okay, if you're going to toss a coin and roll a die, so both the events are completely independent. Okay, so the tossing of a coin will not affect the rolling of a die. Okay, so this is the best example of independent event. Okay, students. And then in real life situation, you can say there could be two kind of events. Okay, one it is it's raining outside, and the next is I'm going to the market. Both are independent. Okay, so we may go to the market even if it's going to rain or not rain. Okay, so it's completely independent event. All right. So this is a practical example of independent event. Okay. Now we'll just have some of the formula for independent events. Understood students, when you do the problem, you will understand more easily. So what is the meaning of independent event? The result or the outcome of the first event will not affect the outcome of the second event. Okay. And then the formula for calculating the independent event is P of A and B is equal to P of A times P of B. Okay, and the condition is A and B both are independent events. Okay, now we'll do a problem to get more understanding on this. Sange tosses a coin and Dorji rolls a die. What is the probability of getting a head and a 6? So it is an independent event. As I told you earlier, okay, there are two events. One is getting a head is event A and getting a 6 is another event B. Okay, so both events are completely independent. Okay, because the outcome of head will not affect the outcome of getting 6. Okay, so this is the perfect example for independent event. Okay, now we'll see how we are going to solve this problem. Okay, the question here is, Sange is tossing a coin and Dorji is rolling a die. What is the probability of getting a head and means multiplication rule. We have to apply the multiplication rule and a 6. So A is getting a head, B is getting a 6. Event of getting 6, event B. Okay, so now we'll write the sample space, the total possible outcome for event A. Okay, so what is your event A actually? Getting a head. So the sample space is when you toss a coin, you will get either head comma tail, right? So your N of S is equal to how many total possible outcomes is 2. N of S is equal to 2 corrections. Now we have to find the probability of getting a head. So what will be the sample space? We'll write the sample space for A. Okay, just getting a head. So how many heads are here you have? Only one. So N of A will be equal to N of A is equal to 1. Am I right? Okay, so we know N of A, we know N of S. So the probability is P of A is equal to number of favorable outcomes divided by the total possible outcomes. Right, we already discussed about this. Probability of success, P of A is equal to N of A divided by N of S. So we all know this, right? If you have not watched the previous video, please watch it. Understand the concept of probability, then only it will be easy. Okay, students, and here all you need is the logical understanding. That's very, very important. So N of A, the number of favorable outcome is 1. All right, so 1 divided by your total possible outcome is 2. So 1 by 2. So this will be the probability of getting a head. Okay, students. Then we'll find probability of getting a 6. This is the event B. Right. Second event is getting a 6. So here also we'll find the total possible outcomes and we'll find the favorable outcome. Okay. So for that, we'll write the sample space. Okay. For rolling a die, S is equal to die only one, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so N of S, the total possible outcome is 6. Correct? N of S is equal to 6. Then what is the favorable outcome? The favorable outcome, you have to get a 6. Get a 6. So A is equal to getting a 6. So I'm writing the sample space for favorable outcome. How many favorable outcomes you have here? Only 1. Am I right? Only 1. Getting a 6. Which is equal to 1. You can pause the video and you can have a look if you have a doubt. So your favorable outcome is getting 6. Okay, this is your event B. So I'll write it as capital B here. Okay, because event B is you have to get the number 6. Right? Now we'll find the probability of B. P of B. So what is the formula to calculate P of B? N of B divided by N of S. The favorable outcome, number of favorable outcomes divided by the total possible outcomes. So here you have 1 favorable outcome divided by the total possible outcome is 6. Okay, students. So as I told here, as I mentioned earlier, so when the head is, when the coin lands head, it has no effect. Okay, it has no effect whether the die shows a 6, okay, or any other number. It does not have any effect. Okay, both are totally independent events. Okay, what is the meaning of independent events? The occurrence of event A will not affect the occurrence of event B. Okay, getting a head will not have any impact or any effect on the second event of getting 6. That is called independent event. The formula for the independent event is, as I told you, P of A and B is equal to P of A times P of B. That will be the formula. Right, friends? So we can write the formula for independent events. So this is the formula. P of A and B is equal to P of A times P of B. Okay. This is the formula. P of A and B is equal to P of A times P of B. What is P of A we got here? P of A, just now we got it's half. So half 1 by 2 multiplied by 1 by 6. Right, friends? 1 by 2 multiplied by 1 by 6. So when you multiply these two, what is the answer? 1 into 1 will give you 1 divided by 2 6 are 12. So this is the probability of A and B. You can have a look. This is the answer. Very simple problem. As I told you, you have to figure out whether it's an independent event or a dependent event. Okay. So this is the question. So what is the probability of getting a head and a 6? What is the probability of getting a head and a 6? And means it's multiplication. You have to use the multiplication rule. It is an independent event. I explained it earlier, right? When you toss a coin and if it lands a head, it does not have any effect on the dice outcome. Okay. So both the events are completely independent. Whereas in dependent event, the occurrence of event A will have some effect on event B. That I'll explain in my next video. But right now you have the understanding of independent event. Okay. So getting a head, getting a 6. P of A is 1 by 2. And then P of B is 1 by 6 because you have to get number 6, which is 1 by 6. Multiply these two events, which will give you of P of A and B. The answer is 1 by 12. Okay, students? Good. Next, take down some of the important formula. This will be asked in your board exams. Okay. You can take down this formula. P of A and B is P of A times P of B. And then take some important note. If P1, P2, P3, Pn are the probabilities that certain events will happen, the total probability of failure is given by P is equal to P of A bar times P of B bar times P of C bar. It goes on. Okay. Till the probability of nth term. Probability of failure of nth term. When we do the problem, you will understand this, but you can take a note. And then next important formula, probability of occurrence of at least one of the several independent events of a random experiment. This is the formula you have to follow. 1 minus P of A bar times P of B bar times P of C bar. So what is P of A bar? It's probability of failure, right? So P of A bar is equal to 1 minus P of A. P of B bar is 1 minus P of B. And P of C bar is 1 minus P of C. Okay. Then next important formula. Probability of occurrence of exactly one of the two events. Okay, if exactly one of the two events are occurring, the total probability will be success multiplied by failure. Okay, that is P of A multiplied by P of B bar plus P of B times P of A bar. Okay, we'll do the problem in this, then you will have some understanding. Okay, friends, you can copy the formula. Okay, next we'll discuss one of the important problem. Okay. You can take down the question. It's from exercise 18G, problem number 15. A problem in maths is given to 4 students, A, B, C and D. Their chances of solving is 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4, 1 by 5. What is the probability that the problem is solved? This is the question. What is the probability that the problem is solved? So here there are 4 probabilities. Okay, there are 4 students, A, B, C and D. And the probability of solving the student for A is 1 by 2. That is P of A is 1 by 2. Probability of solving B is 1 by 3. That is P of B is 1 by 3. Similarly, P of C is 1 by 4. P of D is 1 by 5. They are asking us what is the probability that the problem is solved. So we will use this formula. The required probability is 1 minus P of A bar times P of B bar times P of C bar times P of D bar. So if the question is like this, what is the probability the problem is solved? we'll apply this formula, one of the important problems for exam point of view. Okay, so for that we should know what is P of A bar. What is P of A bar actually? It is probability of failure. So P of A bar is 1 minus P of A. Okay, so 1 minus P of A. What is your P of A actually? Half. So 1 minus half. What is 1 minus half? You will get half, right? Cross multiply. 2 ones are 2, right friends? So 2 minus 1. The whole term is divided by 2, which is equal to 1 divided by 2. Okay, so this is your P of A bar. Okay, now next what we'll do, we'll find what is P of B bar. So what is the formula to calculate P of B bar? P of B bar is 1 minus P of B, right? P of B bar is nothing but probability of failure. So 1 minus P of B. Okay, probability of success for, okay, so which is equal to 1 minus, what is your P of B given? 1 by 3. Okay, we are just substituting here. 1 minus 1 divided by 3, which is equal to, cross multiply, 3 ones are 3 minus 1. The whole term will be divided by 3. Am I right, friends? Yeah, I'll put it in a bracket if you want. You can check. Which is equal to 3 minus 1 will give you 2 divided by 3. So this is your P of B bar. Okay. Similarly, we'll find P of C bar. I hope you're all following with me. P of C bar is equal to, so what is P of C bar? Actually, the formula is 1 minus P of C. Am I right? 1 minus P of C. So P of C is already given. We'll just substitute, which is equal to 1 minus, what is probability of success for even C? It's 1 by 4. Okay, so 1 divided by 4, which is equal to, again the same thing, you have to cross multiply. Okay students, you just cross multiply. So what will be the answer for this? Which is equal to 4 ones are 4 minus 1. The whole term is divided by 4, which is equal to 4 minus 1 will give you 3 divided by 4. Am I right? You can just have a look how we have done this so far. So we got P of A bar, we got P of B bar, we got P of C bar. Next, what we have to find? We have to find what is P of D bar. Okay, so P of D bar, what is the formula? P of D bar, 1 minus P of D, right? So I'm just writing the formula. P of D bar is equal to 1 minus P of D. Correct. 1 minus P of D. So which is equal to 1 minus, what is P of D? We got 1 by 5. Corrections. This is your P of D. 1 by 5. I'm just substituting in the formula. So 1 divided by 5. Cross multiply. 5 ones are 5. 5 minus 1 will give you 4 divided by 5. You can have a look. Okay, now we have to substitute in this formula. The required probability is equal to 1 minus P of A bar times P of B bar times P of C bar times P of D bar. So we'll just substitute in the formula. Okay, friends, we'll just substitute in the formula here. So just substitute and tell me what will be the answer. Okay, now it's going to be super easy, right friends? We are just going to substitute in the formula. So what is 1 minus, so which is equal to 1 minus, we'll put it in a bracket. P of A bar, what we got? 1 divided by 2, am I right? Multiplied by 2 divided by 3, correct? Multiplied by 3 divided by 4, multiplied by 4 divided by 5. Am I right? We are just substituting in the formula. Okay, whatever answer we got, we just substituted. Okay, you can have a look. Now, can we cancel this denominator 2? And we can also cancel this numerator 2, correct? Similarly, we can cancel this denominator 3. And then we can also cancel this numerator 3, correct? Similarly, we can cancel this denominator 4 and the numerator 4. Okay, so since I'm using PowerPoint, okay, I'm just using the animation here. You can use your pen and paper and you can check, okay, how we are doing this. So 2 got cancelled, 3 got cancelled, 4 got cancelled. So what is remaining? You have 1 divided by 5. You can check that. Okay, so 1 divided by 5. Again, you have to take the LCM. 5 ones are 5 minus 1. Am I right? 5 minus 1. The whole term will be divided by 5. The whole term is divided by 5. So what is 5 minus 5? It's 4 divided by 5. So this will... Okay, friends, you can just have a look how we have solved. Understand the question, one of the important problems. P of A is given, P of B, P of C, P of D. We have to find the probability the problem is solved. We'll use this formula. Okay, we'll find what is P of A bar, P of B bar, P of C bar, and P of D bar. Substitute in the formula. Required probability is equal to 1 minus P of A bar times P of B bar times P of C bar times P of D bar. Substitute, and this will be the required probability. Okay, students, so you can have a look. Now what you can do is, the homework will be, alright, you can take page number. Anyway, I'll make a PDF file for this. If you have a textbook, you can work out these problems. You can take page number 1655 and you can solve the problem example number 52. Okay, 52, 53, 54, 55, 57, 58, 59, and then take exercise 18G. You can do the problem number 8, 11, subdivision 2, 15, subdivision 1, subdivision 3, subdivision 4, subdivision 5. Okay, so we discussed about independent events today. Independent event is nothing but the result of the first draw or first event will not affect the outcome of the second event or second draw. Okay, the formula you should remember is P of A and B is equal to P of A times P of B. Okay, we also discussed some of the important formula of the independent events. Okay, and then we also discussed about the formula based on independent event. We discussed 2 problems. Okay, and I've given you some homework. Please complete that and submit under assignment on independent and dependent events. Thanks for watching the video and have a great day. Bye-bye.